Healthcare and tech stocks lead early gains on Wall Street. New York, AP, stocks are opening slightly higher on Wall Street, led by gains in healthcare and technology companies. UnitedHealth, the country's largest health insurer, climbed 2.2% in early trading Wednesday after reporting solid quarterly results. Microsoft was also higher. Banks were broadly lower after Bank of America and Goldman Sachs reported weaker profits. The benchmark S&P 500 index rose 5 points, or 0.2%, to 3,289. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 57 points, or 0.2%, to 28,996. The Nasdaq rose 24 points, or 0.3%, to 9,275. Bond prices rose. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note fell to 1.79%. This is a breaking news update. AP's earlier story follows below. World shares were mostly lower on Wednesday as conflicting reports raised concerns over the likely outcome of a trade deal to be signed by the US and China. Britain's FTSE 100 edged 0.1% higher to 7,632, while the CAC 40 in Paris was down 0.2% at 6,028. In Germany, the DAX lost 0.2% to 13,431 after new figures showed the country's economy grew just 0.6% last year, its weakest in years. Wall Street looked set for a quiet start, with the future contracts for the Dow and the S&P 500 both down 0.1%. Markets had regained upward momentum with expectations that Chinese and U.S. officials will sign a preliminary trade agreement in Washington on Wednesday that will stave off a further escalation of tensions between the two biggest economies. However, concern over whether the deal will stick overshadowed that optimism after U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said the deal will not reduce any punitive tariffs imposed on imports from China until after the two sides reach a further agreement. The only way the president will be reducing the tariffs is if there is a Phase 2 part of the agreement that is also fully enforceable, Mnuchin said in an interview on Fox News. Meanwhile, a report said that the Trump administration was preparing to propose a rule that would tighten restrictions of U.S. sales of technology to China's Huawei technologies. It is unclear if the deal to be signed on Wednesday takes such issues into account. The U.S.-China trade deal is like watching a live show in the theater of the absurd, analyst Ipekos Kardeskaya of Swiss Quote Bank said in a commentary, noting that the tariff cuts will not take effect immediately. The risk here is that the double standard agreement could provide a weak basis for the future negotiations, impair the benefits, or even spoil the deal. Japan's Nikkei 225 index lost 0.5% at 23,916.58 while the Hang Seng in Hong Kong dropped 0.4% to 28,773.59. The Shanghai Composite Index gave up 0.5% to 3,090.04. In South Korea, the Kospi slipped 0.4% to 2,230.98. Shares also fell in Taiwan and in Southeast Asia. But the S&P ASX 200 climbed 0.5%, breaching. And for more on this story, visit the news article link.